Hey, top of the afternoon to all my automotive aftermarket friends in North America. It's Carm Capriato, Aftermarket Weekly, episode 110. Your learning curve never, ever sounded so good. Love to do this for you. And the highlight of the Aftermarket Weekly show, it evolved from 110 weeks ago to got a great guest host, and we're going to have a chance to see my guest host shop. And it happens to be Jay Malinowski from Faithful Tirecraft. Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Hey, Jay.
Carm, how you doing?
I am great, my friend. Listen, every time I hear the word Saskatoon, okay, I remember, and I don't know how I remember the Guess Who was a Canadian rock band, and some of the most classic songs ever, including American Woman, had a song called Running Back to Saskatoon.
Yeah. It's
Did you ever,
amazing.
did you
Yeah.
ever hear it?
Oh, yeah. We hear it all the time. I've been around the world, in Australia and England, and I've had people bring that up.
My.
Yeah.
Guess Who, Running Back to Saskatoon, 72. It was on, I think, one of their greatest hits albums in 74. And I'm showing my age, Jay. Oh, my God. Running Back to Saskatoon. Well, anyway, great. Jay's in the tire business. We're going to talk a little bit about the tire business because I think most of you know how much I believe you guys should all be in the tire business. Let's show a picture of the outside of Jay's shop. And he just recently leased this. I can't wait to see inside. If you're with us on social media, say hi, check in with your city, give us a comment. We're on all the really cool sites live. And of course, this will be repurposed as a podcast for with Jay this coming Saturday. We're coming to you live from the Dorman OE Fix Studio. So glad to have you with us. And as always, thank you so much to our great friends at Dorman Products has become an incredible engine for innovation. They are constantly bringing new replacement parts to the automotive industry, and they routinely release tens of thousands of parts across all different categories. Now, why do they do all of this? To enable technicians the freedom to fix their customers' cars and trucks. To do this, Dorman has dedicated teams focused on different aspects of the vehicle to ensure that they are meeting the needs of the aftermarket. Although a lot of their parts are reverse engineering of original equipment, they also redesign and redefine solutions such as their loaded knuckles or programmable electronic power steering rack. Dorman has invested in these OE Fix innovations to help you save time, your customer money, and prevent vehicles from coming back to your shop. In certain cases, Dorman will manufacture aftermarket replacements so you aren't forced to go back to the OE. Hey, want to know more about Dorman? Visit dormanproducts.com/tour. Thanks to our good friends at Dorman. Great relationship with them, great products, great company. Jay, you were with me on Are You Selling Tires? It was the Town Hall Academy 155. That was a while ago. Thank you for being on with us because I'm big into selling tires. This Friday, the Town Hall Academy is your bathroom like the Ritz-Carlton. Carm, you're crazy. What are you doing here? Well, I have to tell you, we were in San Diego, Tracy and I, a couple of weekends ago. There was a panel at the Elite Invitational, and these were just people from the street that they got to come in and be on this panel. They talked about cleanliness. They talked about looking at the bathroom. And we've had this in the queue for a while. We want to just show you all what really great, outstanding bathrooms look like because you, as a shop owner, will be judged on the cleanliness of your place and how it looks. Hey, Jay, let's talk about some really cool stuff about the tire business. Yeah, again, I don't know why I'm so crazy on the tire business, but I say, you're an expert at it. I mean, why you do all this mechanical work? Why not be in the tire business?
The tires, well, it's the only thing that hasn't changed in 20 some years. We're starting to see the technology in tires completely advanced, from silent technology to communication to your vehicle. And obviously, as we know, with tire pressure monitoring systems. But
Sure.
it's the only thing that keeps your car on the road. And we're about to see, why, tire business is such a great thing for us up here in Canada.
Before we went online in backstage, or we sometimes call it the green room, you've heard some things from Bridgestone, and frankly, I heard the same thing you told me. Share that story.
Well, Bridgestone's come out with some initiatives. I think they launched at CES of all places, right? Because that's where the technology happens. And we're starting to see wear sensors in the tires. So once these tires are on autonomous vehicles, the autonomous vehicles will know how much wear they have left on the tire, when they're going to be needed to change it out. They're going to be telling us when we need to change the tires. And all their new programs of delivery vehicles to last mile deliveries, everything like that.
Hey, Megan, glad to have you join us. So, why? And again, every time I seem to see a tour of, we do shops here on Aftermarket Weekly, I ask the question, hey, are you seriously in the tire business? They've got all the right equipment, alignment racks, and everything, but it doesn't seem like enough of the, at least the 48 states. In Canada, you cannot not be in the tire business, right? Because of the weather that you have, and a really nice thing about Canada, everyone, is the tire storage, because you don't buy a set of tires, you don't throw the ones away. You got to keep them and put them on the next season. How many seasons would a pair of all season or snows last?
So when you're switching out between two sets of tires, from your winter tires to your seasonal all seasons or summer tires, on average 5 to 7 years, depending on the mileage of the customer. We're seeing, you know, 140,000 before somebody has to buy a set of tires. 140,000 kilometers before somebody has to buy a set of tires, either winter or summer, which expands, which helps people, have safer driving habits, smoother fuel mileage, and everything like that.
All season tires
Yeah.
get it done down here, do you think?
Down there, uh, I'm sorry, down
Down
in
here
the
in the
state.
48,
Oh,
the 48
yeah.
states down below you.
I, you know, yeah, no, to a certain point. I'm sure Minnesota and Washington or Colorado might have something to say about that, but we call it three season tires up here. They'll work well, and all season tire will work well up until the winter time when it's like -10.
Yeah.
Once it gets -20 or -30, those tires are like a hockey puck. They just slide around. So
Yeah, and that's the deal. The deal is the cold. I mean, we may get in our northern states as much snow as you, but it's the cold that really makes you want to have a snow tire.
yeah, we've had some consistently cold winters in the last couple of years. Where I am, we get a good 5 months of winter. So we'll some days we'll have 0 degree weather, and some days 2 days later will be -40, and we'll have those big snowstorms.
All right. Well,
So
I'm not
yeah.
complaining at all. I'm not complaining. Rebranding your business. Have you rebranded your business recently?
Yeah, about a year ago, we moved to a new location, and that was a good chance for us to rebrand our business and who we are. We were previously in our old shop for about 6 years, 7 years, and as we evolved into who we are, we found our niche. We created our customer avatar, who our who our customers are, and who we're going to advertise to and brand ourselves towards. So we've branded ourselves as that professional tire shop that can do everything from all automotive repair, diagnostic, reflashing, ADAS calibrations, and alignments is where we're going towards in the future here.
And you moved to a new shop during the height of COVID. How the heck did that happen?
You know, uh, with the uncertainty of what was going on in the marketplace, there was some buildings that were at a pretty decent rate. We looked at buying the building. We could not get into it, but the person who did buy the building actually ended up leasing it to us. And knowing that we want it, and we've got a really great deal with our, I guess, our landlord, and how we're moving forward with our building.
I find that fascinating. You're a book reader like I am. Tell me about a recent book you love.
Uh, I'm really loving this book. It's called Stolen Focus, and why we're unable to hold our attention, hold our focus to all different aspects in our life, and where the actual issue of focus comes from. A lot of people, it's easy to say to blame it on their phones, but it's a lot of times where how we have evolved. It's by Johann Hari. And one of the side effects from reading this book is I've learned how to listen better and focus on task at hand and talking it over with our technicians. Because the worst thing that can happen is, a customer, a technician losing focus on a job, and you get those comebacks.
Wow, I mean, I'm kind of a squirrel, Jay. Not, and it doesn't take much to move my focus. Maybe I need to read this book, but it also seems like we're in this 15 to 20-second soundbite visual world of ours, and it's almost like it's teaching and training us not to have focus, our life almost.
We found that being able to multitask is a good thing, but at the end of the day, it's not. We need to learn how to focus on individual tasks at once to be able to get the job done. Whether it's administrative work, customer service is the big thing. Equating it to the business, or just communicating with an individual one-on-one. Being able to stay focused in that conversation is a big thing, because things later down the road just won't happen.
Boy, you and I need to get together and do a whole episode on this focus thing.
Yeah.
I think that would be great. And one other thing that I know is that you believe that our industry needs to have a coach that helps focus on tires.
Of course, my first couple of coaches that I've used had no idea about managing a business that does the amount of tires that we do. When I first started the business, I was going to be very tire centric. Majority of my work would be tires, commercial tires, passenger and light truck tires, and we do a little bit of mechanical. And that's, I'm a tire guy. 20 years just selling tires, from commercial tires, agricultural, and mining tires. And then I decided to open up a mechanical shop. And at that time, didn't know a lot. So I hired some coaches and always had a lot of friction of the tire numbers and whatnot. Went on to a second coaching company and went into a training seminar and in a room with 40 people. And they were yelling at us, "Why are you worried about selling tires?" And kind of put a bitter taste in my mouth. I've talked to a few other coaches since then, and they know the value of tires and what it can bring to a business. And that's the big thing these days.
And that was that episode that we did, Are You Selling Tires? And everybody who was on that episode, it was Tunnel Academy 110. And you guys were just like gobsmacked about, the power and the value of tires. And years and years ago, the family was in the tire business. We were a distributor. So I get that. When that tractor trailer backed up, what are you doing after school, son? Well, come down and help us unload tires. I knew what the smell of a brand new tire smelled like.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. Hey, Jay, thanks. I can't wait. In just a few minutes, we're going to get a tour of Jay's place. But in the meantime, we want to talk about all the great new stuff we've been working on for you. The survey says, episode that went out today with Rachel Spencer and Jimmy Aluria, if you want to know what's going on in the mind of your customer, listen to this episode, and there's some resources that will be on the show notes page on how you can get a lot of the questions that Jimmy and Rachel actually put out. Good stuff there, really good, smart stuff. Technician mentoring, we put that out most recently, and Matt Fonslow's Tanner Brandt with Tanner Brandt Flashlight Diag and Hunt Demarest, S Corp owners, distributions, and pay. An excellent episode from Hunt. Well, I think it's time. Let's jump inside and see what this great new moved to operation looks like. Jay, I'll let you narrate.
Yeah, so we got in this building about a year ago. We've got half of the building. The south side is ours. Now, the building in total of our side is about 8,600 square feet. You're showing our road there. Down that end of the road is about traffic count about 30,000 cars. We're on a busy street. The front, we've kind of purposed the fronts that shows that where we are exactly. This is our showroom. We're about 1,700 square foot showroom, so we're quite large. This counter was in there before we got in here, so we've got a lot of wall space. I think our ceilings are about 14 feet. So we've, trying to fill the wall is one of the big things. So I don't have no tires in our showroom. I don't like the smell of them. They don't look good. But one of the things, we've put up these monitors in the middle here, and we have this rolling. If we could just stop it right there, we just have that rolling Tirecraft commercial that goes on there. It's hooked up to the internet. It shows
Hmm.
some recent news articles, things like that. Talks about financing. But what we've done here now, if we can start rolling, as a customer comes up, we can show you the tire. This is your tire. We're talking about the Toyo tire on this particular one. Tread looks like, because there's so many tires and brands out there, it's tough to show a tire in inventory. There's a Bridgestone tire, what we could show, and then we could switch it on over to, say, our invoicing system and show people our invoice right there, and we can break it on down before we print off anything there. And that's, kind of the neat thing like that. And then we can toggle it and switch it right back to our menu system again.
Is
We
there
got a
a
little button
special
there.
piece of software, Jay, that's running that?
The software. Oh, we're going to the computer here. If we could just pause it there. Yes. So Tirecraft gives us a little computer module, I guess, that's hooked up to the internet and just keeps those things running. And then we can enter in some of our individual stuff, like our hours or labor times and things like
Okay.
that.
All right. Okay.
So yeah, Tirecraft
I
provides us that.
understand. I love the idea that they can see the benefits of the tires and the tread, the aggressive tread pattern, and the mileage and all the great information about the tire. That's a nice feature that the customer has, that
Screen there.
has a screen in front
Yeah.
of them, and they're not really smelling and touching the tire. I
Well,
mean,
you'll
yeah.
see once we see the rest of the showroom, you'll see why. The other
Okay.
thing too is, we could show a customer a quick video or a GIF or something like that of how their water pump works, how a serpentine
Right.
belt goes around,
Hmm.
and what's broken. And we can also pull up pictures from our guys' DVIs. Hey, this is what we saw if they didn't get it to their phone in time. So we could show a lot of that stuff, and people love that.
Exactly.
Instead of
Beautiful.
pulling your screen around and showing them, it's just right there.
Right
So,
there.
yeah.
Nice.
So we decided to go into the bathroom. We put up a little decor. I put up a 3-hook for Murray Voth there. He wanted 3 hooks up in your bathroom there, and I thought he'd like that. That's just
No,
our
no, wait a
customer.
minute.
Yep.
Tracy wants 3 hooks, not
Yeah.
just Murray.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So there's their kind of customer lounge area. Again, we got a lot of wall space, so we put in
Wow.
some of the wood, changed up the seating area and whatnot. You'll see we've got some portraits and paintings on the wall. So my wife is some friends with some artists in the area. So some of the stuff we've been selling, we're going to put little tags on there, a little display of some of the artists. And it's done really well. That little barn, like a Chevy truck there in the middle, actually, that is a replication of something that went to Metallica. So this customer's super excited to be
Oh,
selling that.
wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's our little coffee area. Just a little sign there that says "Please help yourself" to let everybody know. So we got coffee and water, pop and creamer for the coffee and everything like that, with a Wi-Fi sign. So
Beautiful,
um,
beautiful.
yeah. So
Really, really nice.
yeah, so we're gonna walk around to the side. So just showing some of the wheels. It's nice to have customers know, hey, do you sell wheels? Well, and then it comes down to the questioning of what they want. So again, quite large, very spacious. We could probably have about 4 people working up here. We're planning on putting some desks in the middle there where we're at. So lots of storage for paperwork and everything like that.
Yep, yep.
So this is our dispatch board. It's kind of a work in process. We've probably brought this up a month ago, and we're changing some things around, but it's working well with the guys. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be, as an owner, running everything in the shop, and that's what we're trying to get rid of, is have the processes in places. And this is what we're starting with for dispatch and everything like that with our guys.
Nice.
Yep. So we're gonna go through the door here into the shop. So this is our parts area where parts houses drop off. We've got a camera up top there. We can see everything coming through the door. Say, hey, you only dropped off 1 box instead of 2.
Got it.
We are in an area where we got 4 or 5 parts houses in like 2 square kilometers. So we don't need to carry a lot of parts. So we'll just keep some filters and oils, specialty oils on stock, some of our oil lubricants and everything like that. Just off to the side here, So we've got a couple of wheel alignments. We've got, can't really see there, but that's where we keep the parts for our, we'll see that in a second, where we keep the parts for the guys. If we pause it here. So when we got into this building, it was a tin shell, no heat, no insulation or anything. So we spray foamed that ceiling. We put all new insulation, new bore, new drywall, everything like that, which drastically knocked down our heating bill. That spray and installation has been great and keeps it fairly cool in the winter or the summertime there too. Great lighting in there. And then we're planning on doing some more hoists. So we're probably going to be putting about 3 more hoists in there once we move it around. So we're going to see part of our ADAS setup, what we do. And we're just, we'll be moving some stuff around where we could park the vehicles and do our target setups for calibrations of windshields, calibrations of wave radars, and with when we do alignments. This is our tech room. So the guys can sit down in the quiet area, focus on what they're researching, focus on what they're writing up for the advisors. This is our lunchroom area. Now I'm going to be planning what we're going to be doing. If we pause it here, is we're going to be creating. This is going to be our new ADAS calibration room. So we're going to be knocking that wall out there. And we're going to be purposing this room for strictly calibration. So we'll have all the proper lighting, the proper floor, everything like that for that. So we can move a lot of this stuff out of there. We'll come around and look into the lunchroom here. This is their techs uniforms, whatnot. This is where we keep some of their ADAS targets and whatnot. That's our lunchroom. So it's kind of becoming a bit of a store all and everything like that. So, and then
the wall on the left, that's the one that goes into the shop.
No, that wall, yeah, the wall on the right actually goes towards the showroom. So
Okay.
that's where the showroom is. That wall straight ahead actually faces our parking lot. And then the wall on the left is actually faces the other side of the building, which is
and that's the one that will come down, and it'll give you the room for ADAS.
The one straight ahead will come down. So that we're going to put a garage door there straight ahead there, and we'll pull in. So we've got the right amount of space as towards about.
You got enough frontal room?
Yeah, we got enough frontal room here, about 80%. Now, if we do need more frontal room, we can go into the shop and turn sideways. You'll see our shop is quite long, where we've got a lot of the hoists up to the front, and in behind we pull in a lot of vehicles. So we can plan it where we turn it sideways. We can do those wide camera calibrations on the 360 for like the Ford trucks.
Got it.
Frontal room where you need that 60 feet. So this is like our consumable area. And then just down the side. So like we said, we've pulled up a lot of the hoists to the front, and they've got a lot of space behind. I suppose when we moved in there, I didn't need that much space in or should have pushed these hoists back. But so we're going to walk over to the far corner there. So we're going to go over to the oil area. That's an 18,000 pound hoist. So we do a lot of fleet work. That's kind of our bread and butter. I'd say about 25-30% of our work is fleet work. So 2-ton trucks can go on there, everything like that. We do a lot of alignments for other shops in the area that can't handle that weight. We get hoists that are 14,000 pound hoists that can handle 1 tons and up. That's our tool area here, where we keep a little hand tools and whatnot for the guys, and our little handheld stuff and whatnot. So there's Dave just looking up and praying that this Dodge goes well.
Yeah.
Some of our bulk oil here, we're just in the middle of reorganizing some stuff. I might be changing to a different oil supplier, but some of the stuff like that, there's our screw compressor. We are planning on putting a second tank in there to keep that up. Tire stuff. So I've got, generally in the wintertime and springtime, I'll have 3 tire techs working with us. We probably do about 25 to 3,000 tires a year. Some of this stuff, you'll see the papers on this. These are going out and getting ready for tagging. So we'll be getting these staged right now, and they'll be going over to our tire storage facility, or tire storage area there. So we're going to be walking out to the back there. We've got quite a large lot. It's great. It's nice and paved. I've got 5 shipping containers. There's where we store our waste oil and whatnot. So we're going to walk in where we keep our tire storage. So you're going to see there's probably about 36 sets on each side of the wall. Each set is about $50 for tire storage. So that's twice per year. So there's 4 containers, 5 containers in total. So each container twice a year probably pulls in about $1,800 to $2,000 a season, twice a year. So just having those customers seeing us twice a year, so spring and fall, they're in for tires and changeovers and everything like that. You could just see some of their parking lot here. I think we're just moving in there, and I think that's where we stopped it. So that's the nice thing with tire storage is, twice a year, customers are making an appointment with us, coming to see us, spring and fall. We've got their tires on hand. We're doing them a service, so they're not having to keep tires on their balcony or keep
Yeah.
tires in their garage
Yeah.
because
In there. Yeah.
9 times out of 10, it's the fishbowl effect. You got a garage, it's mainly full, and you can maybe
Yeah.
only park 1 car in there.
And they're coming back.
And they're coming back to see us, and that's kind of an automatic. Now we try and get our customers in 3-4 times a year, what we can do. But yeah, that's the nice thing with tire storage is that ability to every time it's in, we've got their tires off, we're generally doing a service at the same time. We're not just rotating on their tires. We're able to do a proper inspection, do an oil change service, and then we can work on deferred work later on in the year, everything like that.
Jay, does every shop owner like you in Canada offer storage?
No. When I first started, um, there was one of the large corporate stores had that, and they stored it off site. Some of the larger cities, with over 1 million people and whatnot, there are third-party tire storage suppliers. So if I'm an independent and I don't have a lot of space, I can utilize them for stored tires. Now we charge anywhere from $40 to $50 for a set of tires per season, so
Mm-hmm.
spring and fall. Some of these third-party ones they'll charge 100, 120. Even the dealerships are about
Okay.
$100
All
per
right.
season, um, just to store tires. And so now, as an independent, if I'm not storing on site, I use a third party. I got to contact them. They'll deliver it to me within a day or two, which is fine. It's a great service to help to the customers. If you have the ability to store it on site, manage it, admin it yourself, it does well. There is a lot of administrative stuff in managing it at first couple of time go around and making sure everything's organized right. Um, and just making sure you've got everything tracked so you have those efficiencies in place to have it pulled out for that customer when they come by to get it ready and go. You don't want to be running around picking up stored tires. Where are they stored? We know exactly where they're stored. We know when we're pulling off winter tires this time, we can document and say, hey, you're going to need winter tires next season. So
Yeah.
now that customer's ready for a set of $1,000 winter tires or $1,000 with a set of wheels, because now they want to have a set of wheels as well. And that's the other nice thing is, people are having 2 sets of wheels and you're just rotating it on and off. Makes it a little bit cheaper, easy to manage. Better for your OE wheels. You're not wrecking those in the wintertime as well.
Got it.
So
Wow.
that's
Interesting. What does a container cost, Jay?
Well, a couple of years ago, it was only, 25, $3,000. In the last 2 years, it's gone up. As we know, I think the last one I paid for was about 8 grand delivered.
Wow.
So, I mean, it paid for itself in, a season and a half.
Sure.
So that was pretty good. And
And
right now we're trending about a new container every 2 years as we grow.
because your business is growing, are you going to run out of room on the property?
Yeah, I've kind of planned to cap it probably about 6 containers. I
Got it.
do have more room for that. We'll see how that goes, but
And you have how many containers now? 4 or
right
5?
now 5.
You have 5. So it looks. I just did some funny math. About
Yeah.
50 grand a year in storage, maybe.
Not quite there. I think their last count was about 36,
All right, okay.
but
Well,
that was full. Yeah.
yeah. I hope I never go in front of the IRS. They say, Carmen, I don't like your funny math, but
Yeah.
okay. Anyway, this was great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Jay Malinowski, Faithful Tire Craft in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Great tour. Thanks for the motivation to get us into the tire business. And good luck on the new piece. And hopefully you can buy that property one someday coming up. Appreciate that. Yeah. So hey, thanks everyone. Appreciate you all being here. We'll see you. We'll see you next time.